Welcome back, everybody. This is the place to be right now. SK Gaming versus Team Solomid taking place right here, right now. And SK is up on the pedestal to see if they can take down the champs, the world champs, Team Solomid. Let's cover who's playing what and where they're going for what team. The bottom side map, the green grass, defenders of the Titan of Order. We've got SK Gaming Zeros on Bastet in the jungle. Badja playing Bacchus on support. Got Twig in the mid lane with his legendary Ao Guang. He is the champion. He is the one who pioneered Ao Guang back into the meta so long ago. Maniac on Ra in the solo lane. We've got Reels on Ul.
And on the other side, we've got TSM, the current leaders of the EU side of things right now. Lobster going to be playing Poseidon in the mid lane, Smek, and Chicken Tank, not Trix Tank, with a bit of a name change there, on Sun Wukong and Apollo, respectively. Game Hunter in the solo lane, and Cuva Fred in the jungle. Dry Bear, I have one question. What in the heck was banned? Because Sun Wukong's there, Ul's there, Bastet's there, Poseidon's there. What was banned? Scylla? I guess Scylla and Odin, was that it?
You know, honestly, with the picking stage getting ripped out here and the band's not showing up, we see if the band bot is available, but at the same time,
help us.
Bandbot come on up here. Unfortunately, we're unable to get the picking stage here as due to some issues with the making of the game itself. But, you know, as it stands right now, a lot of top picks being picked up here. Obviously, Poseidon, like you mentioned, we see Sun Wukong. Odin obviously was banned out to look at it here. Neith looks like she was banned as well. Bastet making through. Hunbots must have been banned on top of that. So Hunbots, Odin, and must have been a Neith band there as we see Ul and Apollo coming through here. So definitely a big on pick up there. But right now, the blue buff is being taken on the right side by Bastet. Initiation coming on the left side, looking for some damage out here on Chicken Tank. Of course, it's Trix Tank. Nice good double hit there. Belch the Gods come out. Smek not going to get knocked up just yet. Reel's looking for the follow-up. He's got no dash. The volley's going to miss, actually. The jump in. Is there an axe? Looking for the shot. Needs a few more. Here's Smek dropping very low. Can't get the hit. And Chicken Tank is going to go in back towards the tower. Big pickup.
And you know what happened there? Badger actually didn't use his hog on the blue buff and used it for the minion wave, which gave him the push advantage, so the archer minions started focusing them and allowed them to start putting the pressure on with that trade. That's a really nice decision from SK Gaming. It's not one that a lot of people would have picked up on, but using that hog in the lane and not on the blue buff allowed them for that level 2 pressure. Really nicely done from SK Gaming.
Yeah, Ao Guang coming mid lane is going to be pushing it pretty heavily against Lobster on Poseidon. 2 legendary mids, 2 legendary gods, and 2 legendary skins coming through head to head here. Ao Guang is quite a strong pusher, but not as strong as Poseidon. One of the reasons why Poseidon is so strong right now is he can clear the entire wave instantaneously and rotate with his movement speed over to another lane. We see him kind of pushing up through there. I don't know if I agree with what Cuva Fred's doing here right now. You know, Kronos is a very slow pusher, and leaving your solo lane behind this early on is going to be difficult. You see Kronos currently sitting at 2,100 gold versus across the way, Maniac.
Oh, in the left-hand lane, though. Just got aggressed by Cuva. Fred's looking for Reels as well. He has to back away for the most part. Already jumped and used his axe as well, so back out. Reels is in trouble there. He's going to have to back away, pop that health potion he does have, but nice aggression from Cuva Fred. I understand what you said about the solo lane. At the same time, it's from what I'm seeing from TSM, they're quite happy to just let Game Hunter lose some gold to stay alive.
This movement speed buff, this could be worth the retreat on the solo lane as they run right over. There's the belly flop. The hand of the gods comes out. Looks like it's going to go to Team Solomid. Zeros is pushed out here. Tornado on the ground. Nowhere to go. They stole the movement speed buff away. Bastet is now in shambles here. Look at the gold right now. 2,300 versus across the way. Cubo's at 25. A 200 gold lead for the jungle right away.
Yeah, and that's one of the things of leaving Game Hunter alone early as well, taking part, because the jungler, Cuva Fred, can look to aggress on the enemy jungler before she can rotate out of lane. It does put Game Hunter behind, but we know what Game Hunter is like. He'll farm under the tower to the best of his ability and be quite happy to be behind on gold as long as he can get scaling into the later game and just pick up that experience.
There goes the push in the mid lane. Bastet going to join in on this, pushing Lobster back towards his towers. The mid camps are about to respawn and like the increased aggression to make sure that they get this mid camp. Will they go for the left or right first? Looks like they're heading towards the left camp, about to respawn here any second now. Is not flashing yet, and the flashing indicates that it's about to respawn within the next few seconds, waiting for it to come up here. There goes the flash, and now Bastet, as well as Badja on Bach, is going to come over here and defend this one. Right camp looks like it will go to TSM. Looking at the charts, there's a slight gold lead here for TSM, about 400 total, plus about 1,100 experience. So the lane seems to be going okay for Game Hunter, and one of the things that we've seen time and time again is the fact that we are able to see Kronos and Apollo meet up towards the end of the match, or towards the middle stage of the match, I should say, and just start hitting those basic attacks so hard.
Yeah, they really will, and that's going to be really good to see Game Hunter once again on that Kronos in the soloing. He's sort of the pioneer of that to an extent. Like, he's one that's been playing it week in, week out quite a lot recently, and showing that it can be effective, even against a matchup like Ra, who is very, very strong in the push.
Looking there, push going out here. Right side, being pushed up towards the tower. Game Hunter now going to lose a little bit of golden experiences this wave. Gets pushed up all the way into the tower itself. Looks like it should be around 3 minions maybe that he ends up losing. There's the first one going down. Actually, take it up. Oh, looks like he's going to get these back ones first. Get the gold out. Make sure he doesn't fall too far behind. But looking at the gold between the two, looks like he's actually going to lose 2 on this one. But looking at the gold between the two, we see Kronos sitting at 3K versus Ra, who's at 3K, so they're tied up.
Yep, he's pretty much even across the board at the moment. He's going to come down to the first kills, and I expect that to be a contester on the Gold Fury more than likely. I don't see too many opportunities coming out for them to try and pressure mid lane, because both of them clear the wave so effectively that they can retreat quite back to safety and do it from quite a decent range. So maybe the duo lane is where we'll have to watch the action. There's been plenty of aggression over there, but SK handled themselves pretty well when they got ganked by Cuba Fred, and at the same time we saw TSM Lobster and the Chicken doing a good job of defending themselves when they got aggressive at the start. Rotation mid.
Cubo gonna get the drive-by slice and dice from Cubo. Just say, hey, how you doing? And just chops him in the face and walks on through. See if he can get some noodle action there. Not gonna find it. Just gets a little harassment and slow. Forces him to kind of go on guard. And what that is called showing presence. You're basically just coming through, reminding the mid player that there is a jungler, that there are around. And the next time they want to go aggressive, they'll think about it because Nemesis is on their mind. Yeah. Look at the follow up here. Chicken Tank coming through here. Going to actually get a backup. The cat from behind is going to find it. There goes the D-Claw, slowing him down, forcing the bird form here. Good reaction there. Nothing to come of it.
Yeah, good reaction from Chicken Tank. He knew Badger was rotating around as well, so he could have been in trouble in a 3v2 situation if he stuck around too long. So immediately coming back, but he tried to do the same sort of thing as well and just, make his presence known to Captain Twig, but yet again, like, hey, don't just forget, I'm also Chicken Tank, I'm also going to look for those ganks too, so he's going to keep an eye on Nemesis and Sun Wukong at all times.
I'm actually curious to see if anyone is going to steal away Trix Tank from him, the name. So if he changes the name to Chicken Tank and someone steals
Trix Tank...
Just announced it.
You just announced it. He's going to hate
on never get Trix Tank again, and the name will just be forever gone unless he secured it with an ult or something. Looking for Reals on the left side. Some damage coming out here in the initiation. Here comes Trix Tank.
Oh, nice axe.
Looking to find it. Going to miss the stun, actually. Boggs and Toxic looking for it. Apollo forced the ult here. Good reaction from Badger.
Has to ult in that situation. Smek could not have fought while under the effect of the intoxication as well, so forcing that is going to relieve some pressure on the lane and allow Reals to push it up. Apollo going to recall, so might miss a couple of creeps in this lane, or at least a bit of experience, as Chicken Tank will surely take some away. Meanwhile, Lobster being forced out of mid lane, and now we see Zyahos actually showing off as well. Sorry, it's Zeros, isn't it? I just keep saying his name. Zeros actually showing his presence in mid lane, just like Cuba Fred did a little bit earlier, just to let him know that he's around as well as the jungle. So both junglers trying to make the presence known in mid lane and just keep them a bit on the back foot.
Well, it looks like right side taking a lot of harassment here. The tower going to about half HP, one of the downsides of Kronos. And this seems to be Game Hunter's preferred area, right? He picks Thor solo, he picks Kronos solo. And what that really results in is him losing his tower slowly but surely, but you're playing characters that are going to kind of come out strong in the mid game. That's exactly what he's going to get here. And honestly, with the tower only being worth 500 gold and the fact that Kronos is going to take off pretty soon, he's okay with that. He's not worried about losing his tower too early. Looking for a kill here. Maniac and Dancer. There goes a follow-up. Big burst
nice
from
damage.
Game Hunter. Next to him a lot more here. Actually, Kronos doing way more than Ra in this situation, but the Ra here will even it up.
Yeah, well, but if he keeps getting chunked like that during trying to heal up, he's going to balance out pretty even. Cuba Fred's looking for an opportunity here. The ward did give him away, so Maniac going to back away to tower.
Smack in trouble. Taking some harassment. You're going to eat right through there as the Bastet ult is now on cooldown. But a good dive from SK Gaming is going to force Smek to really consider how he's going to play.
Yeah, Smek's not having the easiest of times in this lanes against Reals and Badger. Badger's having a great game, I feel, overall. He's putting some great pressure on the map. He is a little bit behind in terms of experience over Trix Tank, which we kind of used to seeing as Zeros goes aggressive in mid and Cuba Fred away, pounces back towards Chicken Tank, and there's the engage. This could be the mistake they were looking for, and Zeros is going to be the first man to drop. Captain Twig's in trouble now, can't really defend much from there, and that was just the pounce back that cost Zeros his life there.
On the right side, Kronos looking for the kill on Maniac, not looking to dive the tower, though just needed one more shot to do it, but inside the heal, Ra will be a little bit more difficult to take out. There goes the time rift. Game Hunter poking him out. Left side, initiation coming out here. We're getting very low on Cubo. Fred Reels is pushing him back. The rotation from Badger will keep him safe as Chicken Tank throws out the magic cudgel. Poseidon, right side, Maniac looking for the kill. Whirlpool, Tidalster's gonna get the sight. No, he's overtime to try it. Maniac still living here, but turns around for the kill. Looking for Game Hunter, can't find the damage. Maniac has balls of steel.
Really, truly is living up to his name once again. I mean, that's in pain as well. Nearly secured Game Hunter. So it could have been a trade backwards and forwards, but both of those solo laners having to recall now. Poseidon's rotation from Lobster was fantastic there, and I hope Captain Twig will get over here to defend the tower in the most part and soak up that experience in gold. But there's the power of Poseidon with the rotations, but Maniac did a good job of surviving.
Good.
I don't know how he actually lived. I don't know how he lived, honestly.
It's just raw and lack of commitment from TSM. They realize that they're ahead right now. They don't want to give something up. Obviously, if something happens and they end up getting a 2-0 exchange in favor of Maniac, it's just hard. It's just really hard to be able to kind of trust that. And TSM just playing safe. They're giving respect to SK here in the early stages of the game. They realize that Spec's doing well, 4,600 gold versus Reels is 4,600, so tied up there, not anything far behind. They know when the objectives start, they're gonna have the Apollo rotation in their pocket, and they're not worried about getting too far ahead early because they realize that when push comes to shove, they're going to be able to have it. Plus, they have the late game potential from Game Hunter on Chronos. I mean, the late game potential from TSM is pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, as the game goes on, we all know how strong Game Hunter is. You can see him in that solo lane now. Quick pushing the wave, and his clear gets a lot better as he starts to hit that level 11, level 12, as we've seen. And he's going to be able to defend the tower in the most part against this Ra. And Ra's the one that's going to have to be on the back foot because he's going to make sure he lands those skills and uses his heals wisely to keep himself going.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's what's going to make him hold on for the earlier stages of the game. We see actually Game Hunter looking for a kill on Maniac. Badger left side being forced out. Not really anywhere to go. Got to be careful here with Zeros and Captain Twig around. No Whirlpool. Keep that in mind. That is on cooldown right now. The stun going to come out from Chicken Tank. Not going to go for it as Bogus rotates back over to try and fight here with Cubo. Belch of the Gods going to be avoided, but the stun will get the stun.
Yeah, Belcher the God's important there, making sure he actually had the Drunken meter up to be able to apply that stun. But we could already see TSM trying to zone around the Gold Fury. They're trying to poke people down here so they can attempt the Gold Fury in a safe situation. Look at him, just keep poking. There's that. Zero's getting hit again. Badger just got hit a minute ago. Reels is having to zone the area as well. So it's becoming a battle of wills now between these two teams in the trades.
Right side grouping up here and trying to clear out the minions. There goes control.
Chronos rotating as well.
Invasion looking for the movement speed buff as well. Cubo is in the
nice
area.
Axe.
Oh, good stun. Good burst damage. They're not getting the bladed arrow though. Lobster still alive. Jumping away with the glory bound will be. Oh, Smek. Dunking.
Oh!
Jumps away. So beautiful. Shot. There goes the magic cudgel, but Smek gets the kill anyway. Oh, Gold Fury coming out here looking for the kill. Not going to find Reels. He is putting himself in a bad situation. Lobster baits it out with his low HP. They're going to get the kill, following up on the movement speed buff. Zeros, Captain Twig, and Maniac are putting up the best defense. Gold Fury is available. Keep that in mind as Chicken Tank takes the wins from Ao Guang, but they're not going to be able to do anything with it. Zeros pulls up. The movement speed buff gets leashed yet again. I don't know what TSM is doing here. I honestly go for the Gold Fury. They're going to go for it here, but I like the zoning from Cubo.
It's hard to do this Gold Fury when you've got all this team here as well, because obviously Ao Kwang as well as Rock can put a lot of damage down, but they're going to secure it. Nicely timed from them. Captain Twig cannot get the ultimate across to try and snipe it away. Really well played by TSM, and their decision to poke and then finally engage and pick up, especially Badger in that situation, to make sure they didn't have a Hog 3 available to contest that Gold Fury. TSM playing the game right.
They really did. I mean, that's just how they've been going so far, and honestly, they deserve all the credit in the world. And the zoning was there, the initiation was there. They got Bacchus right off the fight. Honestly, the fact that they got Badger at the start of that means that the Gold Fury was guaranteed. And I love the bait from Lobster. He was confident in his ability to avoid the damage from Reels long enough for his team to rotate, and Reels took the bait right through and through, and it just put himself in such a horrible position that he just could not get out. Glorybound was off cooldown, surrounded, and nowhere to go. Cripple from the Whirlpool, even if it was on cooldown, would have prevented him from going there. We see Reels controlling the left lane as Smek rotates over, but, honestly, with the tower still being available, the gold being so far, 3,500 gold in favor of TSM with no towers down, that's big.
Yeah, it is, because TSM don't like to lose leads, and when they get a lead, they'll keep the pressure on you. As you can see from Game Hunter looking for Zeros, he's having to actually pounce away from Game Hunter. Game Hunter's actually going to wait around the Pant's recall so he can't try and juke him out. So TSM now in control of this game, and doing what they do best is when they get a lead, they keep the pressure on, and it's very hard to take a lead away from them.
It really is. But they're going to have to do something. I mean, they can't let this continue on as it stands right now. Gold Fury is a big way for SK to get back into it. They just need to be able to secure it, safely. They can't really contest it so far. We see Tier 3 Hand of the Gods on both supports, as is standard at this stage of the game, so both opportunities available. The kill differential is not that big, 3-0. Not a whole lot of kills have resulted so far, and so we're waiting for that big engagement in front of a objective, but with the gold that TSM's able to kind of rack up early on, left side, we have a Hunter fight going on here. Oh, there's the dash. Next committing the stun coming out here. There goes Trix on top. Reels needs to jump away. The stun will prevent him jumping away. All just at the distance. Sunuko go up there. Going to need to go down right away. But here comes Bacchus with the stun. Can't get it. The dunk from Chicken Tank will get that kill, and that's all they needed.
Chicken's clearly quite strong amongst the gods at the moment. Badger's going to get zoned out from the minion wave as well. Push back to tower. Nice damage coming out once again from Smek. And that duel, meanwhile, in this duo lane, in the solo lane, we can see the Cats coming out from Zeros, looking for Game Hunter. Game Hunter fine though for the time being. Just going to go back to farming the wave. Cuba Fred was there to support him as well. So once again, TSM get a free kill. In the most part, trying to put pressure on this left-hand lane now, and there's not a lot Badger can do here, because he could actually die if he sticks around, Driver.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Always a threat. Badger left side being forced out here. The tower looks like it's going to go down in favor of the one, the only Smek, railing into it with that Apollo doing a very, very fantastic job. We see addition on the
mid lane!
There goes the
Kraken
kit.
Comes out, and he's going to secure the kill on him.
Oh,
the trade!
After the grave!
Coming. How did he manage to pull that one off before that? Meanwhile, though, across the skies comes out. Zero's in trouble under his mid lane tower. Game Hunter fighting in the jungle, though, near the fire giant with Maniac. He's low on mana, but Maniac's trying to sustain as much as possible in this. Will anybody rotate over to help? No, he's relying on the auto attack damage that Kronos does have. And they're both going to back away. Oh, he's... Go again. He looks like he wants to. The fight is going to continue. The slow misses. Game Hunter misses the auto attack. There's Maniac missing with him. The same pain also misses. The fight is pretty much over here. Nice little duel between the two there. And neither one really coming out on top. Actually, Game Hunter does, because he's going to be able to push this minion wave.
That was a good kill by Captain Switch trying to pick it up here. So looks like, I want to see it again. It's just something we have hashtag replay coming out here. So let's go ahead and watch that yet again on the screen. You see the dive come out on Ao Guang. He puts the ultimate in a good spot. Cat Twig under pressure. He knows it's too much. Goes inside the tower trying to avoid it. Whirlpool cracked on the ground. He puts the ultimate in a way that he can try and force them out. Watch this. Dash, hit, knock, tornado, tower, done. Perfect placement. He guaranteed himself at least some damage on the exit, and Lobster had the intuition to back out through the backside of the tower instead of going forward, knowing the Algo ultimate was coming through. Cubo, he tried to dash through it, risked it, got hit.
Yeah, he did get hit. Spirit's Tempest, one of those skills that you can see coming from a mile away, and you just have to surrender yourself to it. But Lobster trying to survive. Meanwhile, Chicken Tank doing what Chicken Tank does to an extent, and roaming around the map, causing issues and trying to apply pressure where there shouldn't really be pressure on the map right now.
Well, movement speed buff is going to be secured here by Bastet. Doesn't on top of a ward, though. We know Chicken Tank likes to be aggressive, and the wards inside of the enemy buffs will help him do that. Mid tower is just a sneeze away from being taken out, and Lobster wants it. There's the Trident, there's the Whirlpool. Look at the damage he's able to do with just that combo there. Does actually have Spear of the Magus here, more of a personal preference, but he's going to have it.
Spear of the Magus works really well if you do have some magic damage elsewhere on your team, and with Game Hunter doing that as well, that'll be interesting to see. As the aggression from Cuba Fred comes out, Captain Twig's in trouble. The Cats get popped defensively, and he's trying to duke out as well. Spirit Tempest is going to save it for the most part, but not in time for Chicken Tank to come around, secure the kill, and now it's TSM in trouble. Cuba Fred running for his life. Trix Tank goes to his cloud as well, so fantastic disengage from TSM. They were in a bit of trouble there, but picked up the kill and once again escape.
You can take with that Magic Cudgel, getting the kill there. Al Guang's going to go down. It's going to be a 1-for-0 exchange in favor of TSM. Chicken Tank trying to go back here. Trick Saint's got that rotation.
Well, Lobster's the one who's going to sacrifice here.
Cats, no cats. There's a D-Claw, Razor Claw's like a stun under tower. Zero's getting low here, needs a Jingle Bait. Gonna get it. Chicken Tank with the kill.
Oh, I'm so surprised by that one. I didn't expect Zeros to go in tower range. He didn't have to, but he did. Took 2 tower shots and got stunned in the midst of him. That's why the second one came out. Really nicely played by Trix or Chicken in that situation. And now 7-1 lead to TSM. Then the gold is now 7,000 advantage, 10,000 in terms of experience. 17 minutes in this game, and the skirmishes are starting to take fold now, finally.
Can we just make a small mention as to those people who are against the warrior changes? Trickstick has Midas Boot Sovereignty and just got 2 kills with Magic Cudgel in the last fight.
That's balanced, right?
That's just Sun Wukong. Gold 3 being started up here by TSM. Rotation coming out from Reels. What can you do, though? The Gold 3 is going to go down for free. There goes the hit. He's going to try and go in, actually. Surrounded. There's the Magic Cudgel jumping over the wall with the Glory Bound Whirlpool on the ground. Reels still going for it, but no commitment from TSM.
He was not scared at all, but he was... TSM were well aware of SK's rotation, looking for that, especially with Bastet, and obviously Bacchus looking for the opportunity to re-engage on that one. Reels is not scared, though. He's up for a fight at every given opportunity. We saw that earlier against Lobster, which ended in his death, unfortunately. But he's not scared of going in, which is a really, really nice thing to have on a Hunter, because most Hunters generally do play at the back for the most part, and just look for the right opportunities to kill steal away from those main supports.
They really do. The supports make a big difference in the game as it stands right now, and the amount of damage they're able to deal while also protecting the right people is just what makes them so powerful, as well as the mobility. I mean, honestly, being everywhere at the same time is hard, but Trixtank does it really well, especially with Sun Wukong. There's some harassment coming through here, taking some minor damage. They use a tornado on the ground, Hurricane rolling on through there. The winds.
Cat stun.
Stunned out. Beads. There's the ultimate. Spirit Sim's going to come through. Going to hit
miss.
Nobody. Whirlpool on the ground. The cats are out.
Yes, Smek actually going to try and aggress onto Bastet, who's going to pounce out of that one. Chicken Tank's clone doing some work, gets hit by the whirlwind, but he's going to survive for the time being. Game Hunter finally joins the party, looking for opportunities where possible. TSM backing away again. They did take out one member, and that was Badger. They could possibly look for a fire giant. Bit too early in the game for it, though. No one's really in a position to do so, but Game Hunter's going to go back to pushing. And look at that in the solo lane. The right-hand side tower has gone in favor of TSM after all the pressure that Raw put on that tower early. Just shows how good Game Hunter really is in that lane and understands the matchups, being able to pick Kronos into that Raw.
We see Reels going through the jungle here, going to back off just a bit, waiting to see if he can actually pick this up. Mid lane, we see some rotation coming out. Poseidon played by Lobster, see if he can get in there, but just can't get the hit. We do see Poseidon picking up a Polynomicon as well as Game Hunter, so Telkines, or I'm sorry, Demonic Grip picked up as in addition to Polynomicons. That's going to make a very, very big difference for them as they go in. Bacchus in trouble. Badger forced back here. The Goldfree is nowhere near respawning, but they might have some kills.
Nice axe coming out from Reels there, looking for it, leaps over the wall, avoiding the Kraken. Nicely done from him, baiting that one out. But there's Apollo, there's Smek. He secures the kill for him. Now it's only Badger left in the way. Meanwhile, on the backside, Game Hunter fighting off Bastet as well. And that all went in favor of TSM again. Another kill picked up for them. Gold Fury is still down, but with that Hunter being down, with Reels being down, can they look to put pressure elsewhere? There's nothing really for them to take in the jungle. Yes, there is, says Q for Fred. I'm going to take the XP camp if I'm going to take anything. And Captain Twig going to get in a bit of trouble here, possibly with Q for Fred coming around the back. I don't think they were aware of him. The aggression for the time being. TSM just happy to just keep taking these little victories.
Kronos is in the area, though, and he's the one that's going to deal a lot of damage. Smek is nowhere to be seen. Of course, he's going to be back towards the Poseidon. Lobster going to go home as they back off from this entirely. The tower is still standing, but for how long is the question. Maniac's now rotating over the mid lane. Of course, his tower is down for the count. We see Maniac going for a Armored Cloak right into Height of the Urchin after the fact. So good penetration. Height of the Urchin now completed for him. Picks up a Sentry Ward and 2 wards for his team. Big pickup for him, but at the same time, Smek's got Deathbringer.
Yeah, Smek has that Deathbringer, which is going to do so much damage as well. Applying the crits, I mean, that's when you start getting to the full Hunter build, when the crit chance starts coming and taking effect on the game. So Smek reaching that IM is going to be looking to split push to the best of his ability, and hopefully with TSM's positioning, they can just start grouping the Fire Giant, allow Smek to do the split push option available. Game Hunter's been closing in on though here, Drabe.
Yep, surrounded. This is damage coming out here. He's got no tower to go towards. Going to rewind through the jungle. They're going to react to it. Can't look at the distance, what they need. There's the cats on the ground. The pounds coming through. Stun's not going to hit. They're going to hit the cats, though. Moving around. Looks like Game Hunter's going to survive. Badger looks for the hit. The Whirlpool's on the ground. Trying to follow up here. Kraken to come out here. Badger goes down. Spirit Step's going to hit only Chicken Tank. There goes the damage. Maniac wants the kill. Chicken Tank up in the air. Going to avoid the damage as well. Regenerate on the cloud as the fight continues.
The fight's going to continue onwards. Captain Twig going to try and get back to the tower. Game Hunter doing work, though. Captain Twig going to live for the time being. Meanwhile, left lane, keep an eye on that. You can already see Smek split pushing his way to victory. He's channeling his inner Zap man here as the rest of TSM looking to assault mid lane. We've already seen Captain Twig have to recall because of the pressure applied. Cuba Fred's going to do his best to get in there and tank up for the most part for his team. Axe misses from Reels as well. Game Hunter does secure that left-hand tower. And now the aggression going to continue as 2 members have to go off to stop Apollo from taking out that lane. That frees up the mid lane for TSM, and great work once again from them, exploiting opportunities wherever they can. And that all came from Game Hunter, well, not necessarily baiting, but getting caught out and recovering well and getting to his teammates who secured some kills.
You see Bacchus running the mid lane. That split push from Smek is huge, being able to take out the tower and get some distance. And honestly, it's so hard to be able to lose the fight mid without Smek and also lose the left tower at the same time. SK Gaming is really pushing for the ropes right now, with the gold being 13,000 in favor of TSM. The Fire Giant still standing. The gold free is available as well, but TSM is really only taking it in a way that takes it away from SK. They're not taking it for themselves, and they're waiting for SK to make that big mess up where they position themselves poorly, they go too far forward, and they get a pick that could result in, honestly, a Phoenix or a Fire Giant or both.
And this is what we're going to see from TSM now. They're going to look for opportunities. Smek's actually trading with Badger in it. Oh my goodness, look how much damage Badger's taking. He's going to use the belly flop to get away. Smek's not giving up. He might get a solo kill here. Badger's like, please, anybody, go home, Badger. You're drunk. Smek has taken you out. And that was a free solo kill. That's going to be a Fire Giant. Meanwhile, Ra being aggressed on as well. Woo! Maniac's going to drop too. This is all over the place in favor of TSM. They're so far ahead right now. Captain Twigs in trouble. Spirit Tempest comes out, misses everybody. Nicely duped. The cats come out from zeros. He's going to drop as well in favor of Smek. Game Hunter is going to be looking for reals, as is the whole team. The surrender comes out. TSM take this victory, and SK Gaming could not see a way back into that one. What an end. I mean, that pickup just by Smek, that was crazy.
14-1 right now. I mean, 24 minutes into this match. I mean, that was just TSM's game through and through. What a huge pickup. In fact, they only got one single kill, and it was on Nemesis with that from the grave Spirit's Tempest coming out. And honestly, I mean, TSM is just looking sharp today. SK, though, can't take it away from them. They've been playing a lot better. The first 2 weeks of competition, they didn't show up at all. I mean, they were there, but they just didn't perform in a way that you expect from people who, were taken to the launch event. Huge pickup there, and I think a lot of credit goes to SK for performing the way they did, but TSM is just hitting their mark.
Yeah, I mean, they showed some real good promise, SK, this game. Like, I really loved the start of that game where they saved the hog from the blue buff, and they looked to use it in lane to put the pressure on early, and it nearly worked in their favor. They nearly picked up that first kill because of it, and that was a really nice little idea that SK had. I hope we see some more of those ideas coming out. SK showing a really good game there overall, but TSM, once again, they get a pick and they pull back. They get a pick and they pull back, and they just keep doing that until the advantage grows so much that they can then just start to snowball everywhere across the map and put pressure on. TSM played a great game again. SK Gaming, commiserations to them. However, it was some really nice plays from them coming out all across the board as well. So we will be moving on to the next round. Who we got in the next round? I'm not sure, actually. That was the
semifinal round. The semifinal round will be taking place next. Worth Gaming did defeat Bloody Tech, as we watched before, and then, of course, with TSM defeating SK. Unfortunately enough, with the way the brackets lined up, Worth, after facing off against TSM in the grand finals last week, will be facing off against them in the semifinals. So only one of them will move on, but this time it's a best of one. So Worth has an opportunity to take out TSM right here and now and move on to the grand finals. A great lineup for them. At the bottom side of the semifinal round, we do see Seat 9 actually defeating Elo Fishers in the round of 8. Moving on to the semifinals themselves, waiting for results of I5 versus Agilitas. Actually, with Agilitas surrendering earlier, it looks like I5 will be moving on. It's not up to date on the brackets, but I do remember admins reporting to us that Agilitas did surrender to I5. So it's going to be I5 versus C9 on the bottom side. Looks like they're still... I take that back. Looks like they're still playing. They were going to try and surrender, but they actually took it back, and now they're still in a match right now. So I5 versus Agilitas is taking place. Waiting to see who the victor is there, and when they're completed, they will move on to face off against C9 in the semifinal round, but it's going to be Worth versus TSM.
Yeah, Worth versus TSM should be a great game. At the same time, Cloud9 versus either Agilitas or I5 will be great on paper as well. Shout out, though, to ELO Fishers for stepping up this week. They've been around since the first couple of weeks, taking out a nice name and exposed secrets in those earlier rounds. Got them a shot in the quarterfinals this week, so a few more points picked up from them. And if they can keep performances like that going, then there's a chance they can still make it. It's still this is only week 4. There's 12 weeks, so it'll be good to see if they can push forward in the next couple of rounds. And yeah, I guess we're going to a break now, waiting for the next game to begin. And we'll be right back with the next game. We're not sure which one it'll be. We'll let you know afterwards. I'm Hindu Man. That's Dry Bear. Dry Bear, Hind Bear, Dry Boo.
Hindu Bear? Forehead Man?
Hind Man? I don't know.
Lipstick Man?
You are Lipstick Man. That just...
We'll be
right back anyway. See you soon.